Shmo. Amen. Shmo. Amen. מודים אנחנו לך. How you have grown.
Come to me, my beloved, to meet the bride, let us welcome the Shabbat. In his discourse of Lechadodi from the wedding discourses, my father-in-law, the Rebbe, cites the idea from Pirkei the Rabbi Eliezer that a groom is likened to a king and a bride to a queen. In a spiritual sense, groom refers to God and bride refers to the Jewish people. Within the Sefirot that refer to the Zer Ampin and Malchut, groom is Zer Ampin and the bride is the Malchut. This then is the deeper meaning of come, my beloved, to meet the bride. Let us welcome the Shabbat. It refers to the transmission of godly light from the Zer Ampin to Malchut. And the order of transmission is thus: first there must be an external transmission from Zer Ampin to Malchut, one that is considered merely encompassing, and this is followed by the internal transmission. Indeed, such is the order of every transmission from giver to receiver. There must be a transmission from the external faculties of the giver to the external faculties of the receiver. This enables the receiver to rise and become close to the level of the giver. And afterwards, he can receive the deeper internal transmission from the giver. To illustrate this concept, the previous Rabbi gives two examples. One of a teacher who transmits knowledge to his student, and one of a father who plays with his young son. It can be said that his intention in citing these examples is not merely to demonstrate the order of the transmission, namely that the external connection paves the way for the internal connection, but rather to also explain the magnitude of these two transmissions. The external transmission is, indeed, of extremely lofty caliber, to the extent that it is of a much greater status than the internal transmission. For the external transmission, which is makif, encompassing, transcends the recipient's capacity. in contrast, and an internal transmission, which is internalized by the recipient's capacity. Nevertheless, it merely paves the way for the inner transmission, for it is specifically through the internal transmission that one can reach an extremely greater status, one that transcends the realm of encompassing. This is the meaning of, for over all the honor there will be a chuppah, canopy. The use of the word all here indicates that there are two kinds of honor encompassed by this chuppah, the honor of the groom and the honor of the bride. On a more sublime level, these two correspond to the honor of Abba and the honor of Ima. And through this honor that transcends both of these realms, the union of Abba and Ima can take place, as well as that of Zer Ampin and Nukva. Although both of these, honor and the chuppah of Abba and Ima, along with the honor and chuppah of Zer Ampin and Nukva, are in the state of Maki. Nevertheless, it is known fact that it is specifically through the union of Zer Ampin and Nukva, which is an internal union, that the essence can be elicited. Now, the first example is about the transmission from a teacher to a student. The order of this, as our sages have related, that before Rabbi would open or begin his teachings with his students, he would make a humorous remark, he would make a joke, which would cause his students to laugh. After that, he would sit in awe and open his teachings. This humorous remark, which may be categorized as casual conversation of Torah sages, which must be learned and studied, is considered merely an external representation of the sage. However, this transmission paves the way for the internal transmission of his teachings, for it is specifically through this that the student's heart and mind will be open and receptive to the internal transmission. The story about Rabbi is first employed as an analogy by the Mittler Rebbe in Torah Chaim. However, in Torah Chaim, it is not cited as an analogy for the concept of Lechadodi. In his discourse entitled Zemukim La'ad, the Rebbe Rashav comes on the occasion of his final birthday. It says that perhaps there is a connection between the concept of Rabba's humorous remark and that of Lechadodi. But in Lechadodi, the Frierdiker Rebbe omitted the word, perhaps, and wrote it as obvious. Torah Chaim
giving us this list of marriage, and the chassan gives the kala the ring. When he gives her the ring, that's the actual moment of marriage. I'm going to ask Rabbi Otero to be so kind and bring me the cup of wine.
Singing Baruch Haba.
Baruch haba mihi anira lako mi baruch lako mi gadola lako mi gadola lako Uyevorech esachoson v'yesatalo Uyevorech esachoson v'yesatalo Uyevorech esachoson v'yesatalo
Hassan and Kala have honored the reading of the letter of the Rabbi to Rabbi Ari Baruch ben Abidor, cousin and good friend of the Hassan and Kala.
Baruch Hashem, Brooklyn, New York, Shalom Uvracha. Mana al-Ha'edah, Migrius, Man Patanasa, Hinini Bezeh, Habi, Birkasi, Birkas, Mazal Tov, Shetiyeh, Vishas, Teva, Mitzlachas, Lineo, Beis, Yisrael, Binyan, Adiyad, Al-Yisrael, Otero, Mitzvah, Kifi, Shem, Yahed, Lumar, Shabbatera, Zehi, Teres, Akasidas, Birkas, Mazal Tov, Khatimas, Yan Kacha. Por la gracia de Dios, Brooklyn, New York, saludo y bendición. En la respuesta a la notificación de la fecha de su boda, que se celebra con la ayuda de Dios, le envío adjunto mis felicitaciones y mi plegaria que tienen lugar en una hora feliz y auspiciosa, y que construyan un hogar judío eterno sobre la base de los fundamentos de la Torah y Mitzvot, ya que se iluminan con la luz interior de la Torah y que es las enseñanzas del Hasidut, con bendición de Mazal Tov, firme del Rabbi. By the grace of God,